Good morning, folks, and welcome to Power to Negotiate. Today's session is going to be about something that most people don't really consider, and it's called structuring a deal. And you're going to say, Reed, what exactly do you mean by structuring a deal? The house is worth $200,000, I'm paying $200,000, I pay them $200,000 cash. What is there to structure the deal? Well, that's one way to do it, but what if you can negotiate with the seller so that you don't have to have $200,000 cash out of pocket? What would happen if you negotiated with the seller so that instead of coming up with cash right now, you gave them something they wanted, which is peace of mind, letting them know that you're going to take care of their problem, and that you might have them pay the first 3 months, and then you'll start making payments after that. As long as it solves their problem, it's a workable deal. And you're going to say, Reed, how do I know what their problem is? The most important thing that you have to do as a real estate negotiator is find out what their needs are. If they don't need the money right now, when do they need the money? Can you possibly find out what they actually need and work with them to get what they really need, as long as it still makes sense for you? Now, remember, when you're talking with a seller, I'm looking for three things. I'm looking for them to be motivated. And what are the three things of motivation? They have to have a dreadful alternative. If we don't buy from them, what's going to happen? They have to have a time crunch. They need to sell, and they need to sell right now. And they have to have pain. If they don't have those three, you're pretty much going to be wasting your time if you start talking to them about doing anything creative. But if you do talk to them and you find out what their needs are, it's a lot easier to work with someone if you know that they're motivated, and you can go ahead and structure some of these deals. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the ladder concept. L-A-D-D-E-R, not later. The ladder concept is, let's say they own the property free and clear, just for fun. And they want to get, let's say, $1,000 a month. And we're going to be doing a lease option. Remember, they still own the property. We're leasing it with the option to purchase. And we say, great, we can do that. When do you want the $1,000 payment to start? Do you want that to start in 2012 or 2013? Well, I'd like to start right now. Well, assuming we can't do that, would 2012 or 2013 be better? Oh, 2012. Okay, let me put down 2012. That's assuming that this is 2010 right now. Find out what they will accept and ask them which would be better. And then maybe instead of giving them $1,000 a month for rent, maybe we start out, I'm a real estate investor. The only way I can make this work is if I am able to have a positive cash flow, or at least pretty darn close. And the market's telling me, important phrase, the market is telling me the most I could rent this for is $500 a month. Tell you what I can do. I can do $400 a month to you. That way I'll have $100 a month positive cash flow, because if I can't make money on the deal, I'm out of here. Now, you own it free and clear. Will $400 a month pay your taxes and insurance? It will. Great. Did you just get this property for $400 a month for the first 2 years, and then after that the ladder goes up to $600 a month, then after that 2 more years it goes up to $800 a month, then after that it goes up to $1,000 a month. So in 5 years, I'll be up at $1,000 a month. What happens in the meantime? Well, in the meantime, hopefully I'm able to rent it out for a larger rent. What happens if, God forbid, the market goes down and I'm not able to rent it out that much? We always want to have a clause in there that allows the tenant buyer, or the optionor, that would be you, to be able to exercise the option to escape from the lease option on the anniversary date with 30 days written notice. So if everything goes to heck in a handbasket, you're able to get out of a bad deal. But if you structure this correctly, you're going to have cash flow at the very start, and every year you're going to be able to hopefully increase the rent, and you're going to have positive cash flow all along the way. Now, why in the world would someone agree to this? Because they don't have any other choices. If properties are vacant, bad things happen to them. And we're asking them if this would cover their taxes and insurance. Yes, it would. Would this be better than what you have right now? Again, we're working with the dreadful alternative. It might not be what they want, but it's better than the dreadful alternative. Would this help? If so, I might have a solution for you. Now, what happens if they want more money? Great, I'd love to do that. Can you tell me how I can get more rent out of this than you can? And then sit down and shut up. If they don't have a solution, okay, well, if you don't have a solution, if I don't buy from you, what are you going to do? If I don't do a lease option with you, what are you going to do? And if they don't have a solution, well, would my solution be better than nothing? That's a powerful phrase to ask. Would this be better than the dreadful alternative? And let them tell you. The next negotiating technique is to delay making the start of the payments for 6 months, a year down the road. And I'll start making the payments, let's say today is August 1st, I'll start making the payments in December. And if they agree to that, we've just delayed the payments, in this case it'd be 5 months. Why in the world would someone agree to that? Because we asked and we told them it's going to take me a while to find a tenant buyer. And then you explain the advantages of a tenant buyer, and you explain how you're going to do this. And in the meantime, think of this as if you were trying to sell this to a realtor, lease this to a realtor, would you be making the payments? Yes. Okay. Tell you what, let's make this fair. If you were going through a realtor, you'd pay them a commission, wouldn't you? Yes. Okay. I'm not going to charge you a commission. But what I will do is as soon as I find somebody, I'll put them in there and we'll stop making the payments on the month after we get them moved in. Would that be fair? So we start with 5 months, and maybe I get somebody in there after a month and a half, 2 months. Now, I'd rather have free rent for 5 months, but would I take 5 months, and if I move somebody in there, I have someone covering the rent, and it isn't costing me anything out of pocket? Would I accept that? Sure. So you always want to ask, what would be better than the dreadful alternative? Not what they want. What they want is irrelevant. I want hair. Not going to get it. But the dreadful alternative is your best friend in negotiating.